interested in following the visualizations of Lucifer's Qlipoth and some of the secrets of the Book of the Eternal Sea, you can download them from the following page in my webshop.
This kost €14,00.
A link to this page can also be found in the description. This visualization only mentions the astrological references without further interpretations. Anyone wishing to learn how to interpret these cards in the Major and Minor Arcana and discover their qualities individually should order the relevant Book of the Eternal Sea, provided I have published it. For each booklet on the Major Arcana, which I'm still working on, I will discuss in order.
I will discuss the Qlipoth.
There are 3 animals associated with this card. I will discuss their meanings. This card is also associated with a tree. This tree has many magical properties and can be crafted into a rune or agam or a magic wand. This card is connected to a Celtic archetype. I will discuss the night demon of this card. I will discuss the day demon of this card. I will discuss the specific devil connected to this card. I will discuss the Bach and FES remedies associated with this card. I will discuss the rune. I will discuss the agam. I will delve deeper into the various Morse codes of this card. Upright interpretation.
Reverse interpretation.
I will discuss the day Cupid of this card. I will discuss the night Cupid of this card. A day Cupid meditation.
A night Cupid meditation. A night demon meditation. A day demon meditation.
I will discuss the magical occult law associated with this card. There follows a whole series of meditations or other special information about the tarot system and the system of the books of the Eternal Sea that are connected to it. There are clear similarities with the regular tarot. But of course, knowledge grows about one thing and another. And what grows simply becomes bigger and mature. So this 78 card system can easily be expanded into a 424 card system that is much more accurate and detailed. In the past, a birth chart mandala could largely be derived from the 22 card Major Arcana. However, at least 4 to 6 planets were missing to do this completely. And in the Minor Arcana, only 3 planets are available per sign. Trying to derive a birth chart mandala from that would be a real challenge.
With the Book of the Eternal Sea, however, this is possible.
Now, a skilled astrologer can make a brief interpretation using astrological references. However, they are unable to make any sense of the Qlipoth, 3 animals, the magical powers of the associated tree, the mythological background, and stories about the associated Celtic gods and goddesses. Furthermore, they know nothing about the corresponding cardinal devil, let alone about the demons and their associated visualizations, or cupids and their associated visualizations. They are unfamiliar with Bach and FES remedies, and they are also unfamiliar with the runes, the agam, and Morse code. Perhaps they can only briefly interpret the card itself based on their knowledge of a planet, sign, and house. But how long can one go on interpreting a single card? Exactly. They don't have the knowledge for that. If one studies these books thoroughly, one can talk about a single card for well over half an hour to an hour. That's important, because even if you find an employer with a tarot phone line, it's highly appreciated if you can focus on a single card for as long as possible. Thanks to these booklets, 1 booklet per card, you are indeed able to do that.
However, in my opinion, these phone lines are seriously inadequate.
Firstly, it appears that it's not possible everywhere to provide pathworking for large groups of people.
Secondly, stones are also associated with demons. I can't sell those.
Thirdly, a tree is associated with a card. I don't know how I can trade a magic wand there, or how I can show what a tree looks like without photos or a video. Fourthly, 3 animals are linked to Major Arcana cards. I can do 3 path workings with them, and I can sell 3 visualizations per card. How? Bach remedies, Californian FES remedies, and Findhorn essences, plus my own magical waters and mistletoe remedies, can be combined and traded. However, they don't offer any options for this.
I can't trade flags or kits for European banners. I can't trade brainwave mindfulness audio either. I can't trade demonic sigils and Cupid's seals either.
I could open my own web shop. Then I'd have a link they could go to. If I did that with such an employer, I could be fired. Fired? And I have to accept that as a small business owner? Even though I do have a Chamber of Commerce number? Surely then I'm not self-employed? Such 0909 telephone numbers have another drawback. They can be reached from Belgium, but not from the UK, Ireland, or the United States. You can imagine how this affects a huge number of customers. For this reason, I don't request such a commercial number. It would make me unreachable for certain countries and continents.
A regular online store usually offers the option to collect money via PayPal.
This also works via crypto. Anyone who opens a Coinbase account can open a wallet via Base. This wallet name, such as eternalza43.cb.id, is shared with everyone with a crypto account. Or the email address says 6 at iCloud.com. They can then send a message with the email address of their Coinbase account, and I can send a payment request in any cryptocurrency they wish. If they pay in crypto, I want a Gmail address so I can use Google Drive to send large files. Then I send music documents, videos, or PDF/Word files via Drive. The meditation on the Lucifer Qlipoth under the Jerian and the influence of the darkening Belial on it takes a good 75 minutes. This is because quite a few things are changing. They need to be explained. Fire, Satan, and water, Leviathan, bring new mythological animal figures, Lucifer, and number squares, Belial, that are not mentioned anywhere else. Especially with number squares, those who are truly knowledgeable can learn to calculate them mathematically using a few rules. However, not everyone is equally adept at this. Unfortunately, this is reserved for the few. In this simple meditation, I will not go into complicated calculations. I will, however, discuss the relationship between the metals, number squares, and the correct planet. There are not 7, but 14 that can be used, and I mention these without hesitation.